Imagine spending your entire life trying to make everyone around you happy. And waking up one day exhausted, empty, invisible. Realizing that in trying to keep everyone else whole, you completely broke yourself. This is not just a story. This is a mirror. And if you keep watching, you'll see yourself in it. There was a man named Aryan. 34 years old. Kind heart. Gentle soul. Everyone in his town called him the good one. His boss called him when extra work needed doing at midnight. His friends called him when they needed money and forgot to return it. His family called him when no one else would show up, and he always did. Aryan never said no. Not because he didn't want to, but because deep inside, he believed something dangerous. He believed that his value depended on how useful he was to others. Every time someone smiled because of him, he felt worthy. Every time someone was disappointed in him, he felt like a failure. So he kept giving. His time. His energy. His dreams. He postponed his business idea, maybe next year. He canceled his doctor's appointment, I'll go when things calm down. He stopped painting, a hobby he loved since childhood, because there's no time. And in return, people took more. They always do from those who never say no. One Thursday night, Aryan's phone rang at 11 p.m. It was his colleague, Ryan. "Hey, can you finish my report by tomorrow morning? I have plans." Aryan looked at his screen. He had been awake since 5 a.m. He had skipped lunch. He had skipped dinner. His hands were trembling slightly, not from cold, but from exhaustion. And still, he opened his mouth to say yes. But something happened that night. Something small. Something quiet. A tear fell. Just one. Aryan didn't even realize it at first. He stared at that tear on the back of his hand, and for the first time in years, he asked himself a question he had been running from. When was the last time anyone asked if I was okay? He sat in silence. 5 seconds. 10 seconds. A minute. The answer was terrifying. He couldn't remember. He put the phone down. He didn't reply to Ryan that night. And for the first time in a decade, he went to sleep on time. The next morning, Aryan did something radical. He sat with a notebook and wrote down a simple question at the top of the page. What do I actually want? He stared at that question for a long time. Because the truth was, he didn't know anymore. He had spent so long shaping himself around other people's needs, that he had lost the shape of his own soul. But slowly, word by word, he began to write. He wanted to start his business. He wanted to travel to the mountains alone. He wanted to paint again. He wanted to sit in silence on a Sunday morning without feeling guilty about it. These weren't big demands. They were just him. And he had buried them under years of yes when he meant no. That day, Aryan made a decision. Not an angry decision. Not a bitter one. A quiet, powerful, peace-filled decision. I will no longer shrink myself to fit into spaces that were never meant for me. Now here is where most stories would end. With Aryan suddenly free and everyone understanding. But life isn't a fairy tale. When Aryan started saying no, some people got angry. His colleague called him selfish. A family member said he had changed. And a friend who had borrowed money twice stopped calling altogether. And it hurt. It hurt deeply. Because Aryan wasn't cold. He wasn't cruel. He still cared about people. But here is the lesson that cut like truth. The people who get angry when you set boundaries were only comfortable with you when you had none. Their anger wasn't about you. It was about losing access to someone they had learned to use. Real love doesn't punish you for having limits. Real love doesn't disappear when you stop sacrificing yourself. And the people who truly valued Aryan? They stayed. They respected him more. Because a person who respects themselves teaches others how to treat them. 6 months later, Aryan launched his small business. It wasn't perfect. It wasn't overnight. But it was his. He started painting again, not for anyone. Just for himself. He took that trip to the mountains. Sat alone in the quiet. And for the first time in as long as he could remember, he felt like himself. Not useful. Not convenient. Not the good one. Just himself. And in that silence, he understood something that no one had ever told him. Peace is not something you find after you've pleased everyone. Peace is what you reclaim when you stop trying to. If you see yourself in Aryan's story today, know this. You are not selfish for wanting rest. You are not cold for saying no. You are not a bad person for choosing yourself. You were just taught by the wrong people that love means endless sacrifice. But love without boundaries isn't love. It's a slow disappearance. And you were never meant to disappear. The world doesn't need more people who give until they're hollow. The world needs people who are whole. People who are full enough to give from abundance, not from fear. So today, I want to ask you the same question Aryan asked himself. When was the last time you chose you? If you can't remember, maybe today is the day. If this story touched something inside you, if it reminded you of yourself or someone you love, please share it. Because somewhere out there, someone is exhausted from carrying everyone else. And they need to hear this today. This has been Life Lesson Chapters, where every story carries a lesson. And every lesson has the power to change a life. Stay kind. Stay true. But above all, stay yourself. Until next time.